Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we're going to be tackling a classic.
Oh, yeah.
We're diving deep into Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
A classic.
It's a book that's, been around for a while now, but it still gets talked about all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got the full audiobook transcript,
Wow.
which means we can really dig into all of the details and the nuggets of wisdom that he's...
Nitty-gritty.
Nitty-gritty, exactly.
Yeah.
So we're going to be exploring how Kiyosaki challenges the traditional ideas about assets and liabilities. That whole idea of working for money versus having your money work for you.
Mm-hmm.
And just how to build your financial IQ.
Yes.
So are you ready to kind of rethink some of those old ideas about money?
Always.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So Kiyosaki starts off the book with his story about his two dads.
Right.
Right. He's got his biological father, who he calls the poor dad. And then he's got his friend's father, who he calls the rich dad.
Right.
And at first you might think oh, this is just another rags to riches story.
Yeah.
But it's actually more about their mindsets.
Absolutely.
The way they thought about money was totally different.
Totally different.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's interesting because his biological father was highly educated, had a secure job.
You'd think you would be set.
You would think, right.
Yeah.
But he really struggled financially.
Yeah.
And he represents that classic kind of trap of working for money, always chasing that next paycheck.
Yeah, just stuck.
Stuck.
Yeah. Whereas Rich Dad, he dropped out of school and built this business empire. But he focused on building assets.
Right.
Things that would generate income.
Yeah, have the money work for him.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the key difference.
That's the key,
Yeah.
So there's this one part in the book that really stood out to me.
Okay.
Kiyosaki, as a kid, he's working for Rich Dad.
Okay.
And he's getting paid a measly 10 cents an hour.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, just doing all these menial tasks.
Yeah.
And I remember reading that and thinking was Rich Dad being a little exploitative here?
Right.
What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's easy to kind of jump to that conclusion.
Yeah.
But I think if you look at it from Rich Dad's perspective, he was trying to teach young Kiyosaki a lesson about the grind, the frustration of trading your time for pennies.
Right.
And I think, he wanted to spark that desire for something more, that financial freedom. Have you ever felt that way, by the way?
Oh, absolutely.
Working really hard and not really seeing your wealth grow.
Yeah. I think we've all been there at some point.
I guess so, too.
Yeah. And that's where Kiyosaki brings in his core principle, right?
Yes.
The idea of assets versus liabilities.
Very important distinction.
Yes. And it's such a a shift in perspective.
100%.
That a lot of people just aren't used to.
Think about it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how does he define those terms?
So an asset is something that puts money in your pocket.
Okay.
A liability is something that takes money out.
Okay. That makes sense.
Seems pretty straightforward, right?
Yeah.
But he challenges the conventional wisdom because, we traditionally think of a house as an asset.
Right.
But he says it could actually be a liability.
Really?
Yeah.
But wait, isn't owning a home part of the American dream?
Right.
People see their house as their most valuable asset.
Yeah, I get that.
So how does that fit into Kiyosaki's framework?
It's a great question.
Yeah.
And, Kiyosaki acknowledges the emotional and even the social value of homeownership.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he also encourages us to look at the cold, hard financial reality because a house comes with all these expenses.
Oh, yeah.
Mortgage payments, property taxes, maintenance, it never ends.
It really doesn't.
And those are all taking money out of your account. Right.
Draining it.
Yeah. And unless you're renting it out,
right,
it's not really generating passive income.
Okay, yeah.
So it's not an asset in the true sense of the word.
Okay, so he's saying instead of sinking all our resources into a house, we should be building a portfolio of income-generating assets.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so think about buying a fancy car.
Okay.
Loses value the second you drive it off the lot.
Oh, yeah.
Keeps costing you money with upkeep and insurance.
Yeah.
That's a liability.
Yeah.
But if you invest in, say, a rental property that generates monthly income, now that's an asset.
That's the kind of shift in thinking that he's talking about.
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this all ties into his emphasis on financial literacy.
Absolutely.
Which is like a huge theme throughout the whole book. And there's this one quote. I don't know if you remember this.
Okay.
He says, "Schools don't teach us about money."
Right.
Which I think is like a pretty powerful statement.
Yeah.
Because it's true. Like, we don't really...
You're thrown out into the world and expected to just figure it out.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
So do you think our education system does a disservice to us?
I think so.
By not adequately preparing us for the real world of personal finance?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it's a crucial aspect of life that is often neglected.
Yeah.
And then people are left feeling
lost
and unprepared to manage their money effectively.
Yeah. And that's where he introduces this concept of financial IQ.
Financial IQ.
Yeah. And he breaks it down into 4 key areas, right? Yeah, he does.
So what are those 4 areas?
Okay. So we've got accounting, investing, understanding markets, and the law.
Okay. So for someone who's just starting out, those 4 areas can seem...
overwhelming.
A little overwhelming.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how does Kiyosaki suggest we, actually develop our financial IQ?
He advocates for kind of a blended approach.
Okay.
Both knowledge and action.
Okay.
So first, with accounting, it's about understanding the language of money.
Okay.
Being able to read financial statements.
Okay.
Knowing where your cash is flowing so you can make informed decisions.
Okay, that makes sense.
It sounds a bit complicated.
Yeah.
But, think about it. Wouldn't you want to have a clear understanding of where your money is going?
Oh, for sure.
And how to make it work harder for you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, and then what about the other 3 areas?
Okay, so investing, that's all about putting your money to work.
Making it multiply through smart choices.
Right.
Understanding markets involves recognizing opportunities, spotting trends, and kind of anticipating shifts.
Okay, so being able to, see where things are going.
Exactly, yeah. And then the law. The law helps you navigate the financial world strategically and safely.
Okay.
So it's like having a roadmap and a toolkit all in one.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
So it sounds like he's saying it's not just about having money.
Right.
It's about having the knowledge to use effectively.
Exactly. You need both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's something that you learn over time, right?
Absolutely.
It's a journey.
It's a lifelong journey of learning and adapting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So some of the investment strategies that he described in the book are they're pretty unconventional.
Yeah.
I'll say that. He talks about things like the 1031 exchange for real estate and buying property with no money down.
Right, right.
These are things that a lot of people might think are
risky.
Risky, yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you think about that?
Well, I think it's important to remember that Kiyosaki is sharing his personal experiences and his strategies.
Yeah.
These might not be suitable for everyone, and they definitely come with risks.
Of course.
He really emphasizes doing your due diligence and understanding the potential downsides before you jump into anything.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So for those of us who aren't familiar, what is a 1031 exchange?
So a 1031 exchange allows you to defer capital gains taxes when you sell a property by reinvesting the profits into a similar property.
Right.
It can be a really powerful tool for building wealth. But it's complex. And it requires really careful planning.
Gotcha. So it's not a get-rich-quick.
Definitely not. No. This is for savvy investors who are in it for the long haul.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So it sounds like Kiyosaki's main message is all about taking control of your financial life and building a future where money works for you.
Absolutely.
Not the other way around.
100%. Yeah, and he doesn't stop at just the technical aspects. He also digs into the personal obstacles that people face when they're trying to build wealth. Those internal barriers.
Yeah, that's a whole other section of the book that we're going to get to.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's really relatable.
Oh, yeah.
Like it felt like he understood the struggles that we face on a personal level. Yeah. So what are some of those obstacles?
Fear, cynicism, laziness, bad habits, arrogance.
Okay, so a lot of internal stuff.
A lot of internal stuff.
Yeah, it's like
that we all deal with.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's not just about the numbers.
It's not just about, it's about developing your financial intelligence and taking action.
Okay, so let's break down those steps.
Yeah.
And see, how they can actually help us on this path to financial freedom.
All right, so step 1.
Okay.
Find a reason greater than reality.
Okay, so what does that mean?
It's all about your why.
Okay.
Like, what's your driving force?
All right.
What's that burning desire that fuels your financial pursuits?
So it's got to be about more than just wanting to be rich. Right?
Yeah, exactly. It's got to be something deeper. Maybe it's providing for your family.
Yeah.
Maybe it's achieving financial security.
Okay.
Maybe it's leaving a positive impact on the world.
Right. It's got to be something bigger than yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah, because that's what's going to keep you going when things get tough.
Exactly. That's your fuel.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's step 2?
Step 2 is make daily choices.
Okay.
It's recognizing that those small, consistent actions that you take every day
add up over time.
Yeah, it's the compound effect.
The compound effect, exactly.
Okay.
So it's not about making these like grand gestures.
Right.
It's about those everyday decisions that shape your financial life.
Like choosing to invest instead of spending on things you don't need.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Educating yourself about money. Connecting with people who can support you.
Right. Building that network.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. What about step 3?
Step 3 is choose friends carefully.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah.
So he's saying, like, the people you surround yourself with matter.
Yeah, it's about building a supportive network of mentors, advisors, people who are aligned with your financial goals.
Right. People who are going to lift you up and not hold you back.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so think about your own circle of influence. Are the people around you supporting your growth?
That's a good question to ask.
Or are they holding you back?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, step 4.
Step 4 is master a formula and then learn a new one.
Ooh, okay, what does that mean?
So Kiyosaki's all about continuous learning.
Okay.
You know, he wants you to master one financial formula, like investing in real estate or starting a business.
Right.
And then once you've got that down, go learn something else.
Okay.
Don't get complacent.
Right.
Always keep pushing yourself.
It's like a growth mindset.
Yes, a growth mindset.
But applied to finances.
Exactly.
I like it. Okay, step 5.
Step 5, one of the most famous ones.
Oh, this is the big one, right?
Pay yourself first.
Yes, pay yourself
first. Yeah, this is about prioritizing your financial well-being above all else. It means setting aside money for investing before you pay bills or buy anything else.
That's tough for a lot of people.
It is.
Yeah, so how do you actually make that happen?
Make it a non-negotiable part of your routine.
Automate your savings if you can.
Okay.
Treat it like a bill that you have to pay.
Okay.
And watch that financial foundation grow.
I like it.
Yeah. All right, what's next?
Step 6, pay your brokers well.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
I thought we were trying to save money.
You are.
Okay.
But Kiyosaki believes that good advice is worth paying for.
Okay.
So he wants you to find competent financial advisors, real estate brokers, other professionals who can guide you.
So it's like an investment in expertise.
Exactly.
Okay.
Think about it. A skilled broker can help you find investments that you might not have even known about.
Right.
They can negotiate better deals for you.
Yeah.
Help you navigate, all the complexities.
Okay, so their expertise can actually save you.
Yeah, save you time, money, and headaches.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Okay, I like it. Step 7.
Step 7, be an Indian giver.
Okay, what's that supposed to mean?
Get something for nothing.
Ooh, sneaky.
He's using this to illustrate leverage and creative thinking. So look for investments that offer, added value, something extra.
So you're not just taking what's given to you.
Right.
You're trying to maximize your gains.
Exactly. You're negotiating. You're finding ways to get more for your investment.
I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, what about step 8?
Step 8, use assets to buy luxuries.
Oh, okay.
So break that cycle of consumer debt.
Right.
Reward yourself with your investments.
Yes, so instead of buying that fancy car with a loan,
yes,
you use the income from your assets.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense.
It's about aligning your spending with your goals.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay, step 9.
Step 9 is choose heroes.
Choose heroes.
Yeah.
Okay, this is an interesting one.
Yeah, it might seem a little out of place in a personal finance book, right?
Yeah.
But Kiyosaki believes in the power of role models.
People who have already achieved what you aspire to.
Right.
So study successful investors, entrepreneurs, business leaders.
Yeah.
Learn from them.
Okay, so find people who have mastered money.
Yeah.
And model their behavior. Exactly. I like it.
Yeah, you don't have to reinvent the wheel.
Right, yeah.
Learn from the best.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay, and finally, step 10.
Step 10, teach, and you shall receive.
Ooh. Okay, so this is about giving back.
It is.
Okay.
Kiyosaki believes that when you share your knowledge and help others, you actually attract more abundance into your own life.
Okay, so it's not just about, like, hoarding your wealth. It's about sharing it and helping others.
Exactly. It's about empowering others.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've gone through all 10 steps.
We have.
Like this whole roadmap
Yeah.
to financial freedom.
Yeah.
But he doesn't stop there, right?
He doesn't. He actually goes into a lot of detail about the specific obstacles.
Right, that can get in the way.
Yes, that can hinder your progress.
Yeah.
Both internal and external.
Oh, yeah.
It's like he's anticipating the challenges that you're going to face and giving you the tools to overcome them.
I like that. That's a good approach.
I think so, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because knowing what to expect can make all the difference.
Right, and having those strategies in place.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so which obstacles does he focus on?
Well, he covers a lot of ground.
Right.
Fear, cynicism, laziness, bad habits, even arrogance.
Okay, so both like the mindset stuff.
Yeah, the psychological and emotional barriers that can hold you back.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it sounds like he's not just talking about like the financial stuff, but also the mindset.
Yeah, the personal development.
Yeah.
That's a big part of it.
Okay, so can you talk a little bit more about those obstacles and like what advice he gives?
So let's start with fear. We talked about it a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
But it's a big one.
Mm-hmm.
Kiyosaki believes it holds a lot of people back.
Okay.
He says everyone experiences fear.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Even, experienced investors.
Right.
But the key is not letting it control you.
So it's about like managing it.
Exactly. Don't let it paralyze you.
And he says to think like a Texan, right?
Yeah, he likes that analogy.
Yeah.
Go big or go home.
Yeah.
Embrace the risk.
Okay.
View failure as a learning opportunity.
So it's not about being like reckless?
No, not at all.
Okay.
It's about calculated risks.
Right. Doing your research.
Yes. Educating yourself.
Okay.
Seeking guidance from mentors.
Yeah.
And having a strong why.
Okay. Yeah.
That's so important.
So you know why you're doing it.
Exactly.
And that helps you get through the tough times.
Yes. It's your motivation.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So what about cynicism?
Cynicism.
Yeah.
Kiyosaki makes a distinction between criticism and analysis. So, cynics, they tend to focus on the negative.
Right.
They shut down possibilities without really understanding them.
They're just like naysayers?
Yeah, they're not really looking for solutions.
Okay.
Successful investors, on the other hand, they analyze situations. They're trying to understand. They're looking for opportunities.
Okay, so it's about being more discerning.
Yeah. Have a critical eye.
Yeah.
But also be open-minded.
Right.
Don't let cynicism cloud your judgment.
Okay, that's good advice.
Yeah.
All right, what about laziness?
Kiyosaki has an interesting take on laziness.
Okay.
He says it's often a symptom of something else.
Okay, like what?
Lack of motivation, maybe fear of failure.
Okay.
Or maybe you just don't have a clear vision.
Right, like you don't know what you want.
Exactly.
So you're not really lazy, you're just
stuck.
Yeah, uninspired.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he says you got to figure out what's really going on.
Yeah. Get to the root of it.
Yeah. Examine your motivations.
No.
Set clear goals.
Mm-hmm.
Find that spark again.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, bad habits.
Bad habits, those are sneaky.
Yeah, they can really.
They can sabotage your progress.
Yeah, for sure.
So things like dipping into your savings to cover unexpected expenses.
Yeah,
or making impulse purchases.
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Yeah, we all done it.
So how do we break those bad habits?
Well, Kiyosaki says you got to develop good habits.
Okay, like what?
Pay yourself first.
Right.
Create a budget. Track your spending.
Okay.
Be mindful of where your money is going.
So it's about building that discipline.
Exactly.
Okay.
Taking control of your finances.
Instead of letting them control you.
Yeah, 100%.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. And finally, arrogance.
Arrogance can be a big problem.
Okay.
Because it can make you blind to your own weaknesses.
Right? You think you know everything and you stop learning?
You stop growing.
Okay.
So Kiyosaki emphasizes humility.
Okay.
Recognize that you don't know everything.
Right.
Be open to learning from others.
So be willing to, like, admit when you're wrong.
Yes, and ask for help when you need it.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good point.
Surround yourself with people who are smarter than you.
Right.
Never stop learning.
That's great advice.
I think so, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, this has been a really amazing deep dive.
It has been fascinating.
Yeah, we've covered so much.
Yeah.
We talked about the different mindsets, the whole asset versus liability thing, the importance of financial literacy.
Absolutely.
And all those obstacles that can get in the way.
The internal barriers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as we're wrapping up here, what are some of the key takeaways that you hope our listeners will take with them?
Well, I hope they realize that financial freedom, it really is achievable.
Okay.
It's not a pipe dream.
Right.
It's not just for the lucky few.
Yeah, it's not about privilege.
It's about education.
Right.
It's about taking action.
Yeah.
And it's about developing the right mindset.
Yeah, that's so important.
Yeah, it's not just about the money.
Right.
It's about who you are, how you think, and the choices that you make.
And Kiyosaki gives us the tools to do that.
He does. He lays it all out.
Yeah.
He gives you a roadmap.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you so much for joining me today.
It's been a pleasure.
This has been such a great conversation.
I agree.
And I hope our listeners got a lot out of it.
Me too.
And for those of you who want to dive even deeper, definitely check out Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
It's a classic for a reason.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
So that's it for today's deep dive.
Thanks for having me.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep growing, and keep diving deep.